What's up, guys? I'm Just a Gamer, and I'm back with another review. This time for Lies of P. Real quick, this is actually my second time doing this review because my first iteration of this video got corrupted or whatever, and it's like, well, not corrupted, but the audio, for whatever reason, just I didn't realize it was bonked out this whole time, and it was just this whole big thing. But regardless, so this is basically me redoing the review I had already done. But regardless, this is a game that honestly I loved. I loved this game. This game was just so good, and I want to jump into it. I really do. So let's get to it. So for those of you who don't know, Lies of P is a very much Souls-like game, whereas it invokes feelings of, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. It's very much in that genre where you're going through these fantastical environments. You have certain abilities with weapons and spells, and like you collect, souls that you eventually use, or like Ergo in this point, to eventually take to a home base to a person that can use them to level you up, whether it be your strength, stamina, all that good stuff. But honestly, even though yes, this game is a Souls-like, I think it stands apart from so many others that they come out and you're like, oh, that's a Souls-like game, and it's just they're okay, they're fine, they're whatever. I truly believe that Lies of P stands above that, where it's not just a Souls-like game, it is a Souls game. I know it's not made by From Software, and it's a little rough to say, like a little, I don't know, a little controversial to say, but I think of this as a Souls game because of just how good it was. I mean, everything from the environment to the gameplay, the bosses, and one thing I will say that is vastly different, and I actually kind of prefer this time around, is the way the story was told. But I'm jumping ahead, so let's break things down a bit further. So first and foremost, let's talk about the environments. The environments in this game are very beautiful, and they're very diverse and creative, and they just have this fantastic feeling of this was a grand city and now it has been basically destroyed. And each of the environments, I honestly think, were very like, usually there's like always like one or two levels that are always a bit like rough or like that, but I honestly can say that I don't think there was a level like that for me in this game. Even the categorical swamp level or poison level that's in like basically every Souls game from some software, there's always like some poison area. Even the poison area in this game, which I usually dread and hate, was actually pretty like, it wasn't too bad, and I actually really enjoyed it. Some would say and complain that maybe that area was a bit flat, there wasn't much to do there, but it just, like, the aesthetic of it invoked this feeling of it is a waste and it is a dump, and that's what it's supposed to be, where all these puppets that basically got thrown away and they're just tossed in there. So like, I don't know, like, I just think the environments in this game were really fantastic, and the way they eventually, like, they don't interconnect on the level of a Souls game where like you'll just find yourself there and it's like, holy crap, I went all of it. There's nothing on that level, but I just did like the way they do connect and move from one to the other. And I just think the environments in this game were really great, really fantastic, and some of them had some really good vistas that just looked fantastic. So kudos to them for getting like the feel and the aesthetic of the game just so perfectly. Next up is the combat, which if any of you have played a Souls game, you'll pretty much get a grasp of what the game plays like, but it's the little smaller things that really do make it stand apart, like the guarding system. I know some people are hate or love it with having like the perfect guard to not take any damage and all that stuff, but there are ways to mitigate that. There are items and abilities that eventually you're able to, reduce that with. And I don't know, I just really did like that aspect of it. It very much kept you on your toes, even when fighting like regular enemies, which sometimes just lost me, like they just destroyed me. So I actually really like that little aspect. The Legion arms and the variety of them were amazing. Your left arm is basically Sekiro, where your left arm can be changed into different things. And it's funny because the most used Legion arm I've seen other people use, I didn't even use until the end, which is the puppet string, which is extremely powerful once you level it up all the way, and it gives you basically the scorpion get over here, or you pull yourself to them and you do this gigantic heavy attack that does crazy damage, and it staggers the enemy if they're at if their bar is in the stagger radius, or it's wait to be staggered. So yeah, I actually didn't use that until like near the end of my run, and I still had a blast with all the different Legion arms, switching and matching from the flamethrower to the shock Legion arm. Those honestly, I think two are my favorite, honestly. But some of the other ones were fantastic as well, and I just really liked the combat in this game, the way the enemies move, the way you had to like really focus down and try to like parry them. Again, I really loved Sekiro, so I really liked this game too, which again, I know a lot of people were very not happy with the need to perfect block. I know it's a make or break thing, but I personally loved it. And again, for it being a game not made from software, the combat actually felt really tight and really good. I know during the beta, some people were a bit wonky about the dodge, how it wasn't really useful, or it wasn't really helping a really good dodge to begin with. But they fixed that, and I believe in the final game, it actually was in a good spot to where it could let me do it. It got me through what I needed to get through, and I think they really did that. And apparently, not apparently, but it's already been confirmed that they're going to be like patching the game, like making it, quality of life changes and stuff like that. So the game is only going to get more refined and better as time goes on, and that obviously that will feed into the sequel. So I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, I just really like the combat of this game. I think it is top notch, and it's just really fun in my opinion. The last thing I want to talk about is the story, or rather how it's told, because this is by and large the biggest difference between this game and a proper Souls game from Software. Where From Software, they have this incredible ability to like, they make this world, and the story you want is the story you find. Like, you find all these item details and things and that, and like it helps you craft. Like, obviously for those who watch Vati video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the story is one that you have to discover and decipher at times, and even try to even uncover. And it's fun, it's fantastic, and again, I really enjoy it. Like, I'm dumb, so I have to go to VoxiVidya for any explanation on the story, but I really enjoy that as well. This game was much more straightforward. They actually had a very cohesive narrative that you actually followed along the whole game, and it was much more straightforward. There were some things here and there you can uncover more information by finding, pamphlets and newsletters, learning more about the world and the world around you and stuff like that. But more than anything, the story was very focused. Main story was very focused, and you could follow it very neatly. You didn't really have to like uncover or like really try to figure things out. It was very plain and explained to you, and you know, to follow along, which again I actually really enjoyed. Again, I do enjoy the Souls From Software method of uncovering the story, but sometimes I just want a story, and this game delivered that story, and it was really fantastic, really good. And again, it leaves you on this note of like, where the heck could we go next? Because I'm not gonna spoil it here, but like, the ending and the teaser at the end is just so mind-blowing to me, and it's so great. And again, this was by far a really awesome, like, I wouldn't say retelling, but interpretation of the story of Pinocchio. It was just so good, and I can't praise it enough, because I really liked it. I really enjoyed it, and I think it was amazing. Now, there are a bunch of things I did not touch upon. regarding the combat system with the specters, or I didn't even deep dive or really talk about any. I didn't actually talk about any of the bosses, which again I think were really good. I think there was only like one bad boss in the entire game, and even then he was more of a mini boss if anything. I don't even think he was a full-blown boss. And again, I didn't dive into them that much. I didn't really go into like the nuances of the other characters within the story as well. Like, there's just so much I could rave on about this game about, but point blank, I think this game is amazing. Honestly, for me, it might be personally my game of the year. I'm still playing Spider-Man 2, but so far, even with what I've played of Spider-Man 2, I think I'm leaning towards Lies of P more for my game of the year. I just loved that game so very much. I think it was just so fantastic, and I can't recommend it enough. Honestly, that's the whole point of this review. Just me gushing and saying, if you haven't played this game, play this game, because I think anybody can really enjoy it. I really do. But those are my thoughts. That's my review. Please, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like or comment down below. Subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know, did you play Lies of P? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you one of those people who weren't a fan of like the perfect parry mechanic? Like, I would love to hear your feedback and your thoughts on this game, because I truly loved it. But please, let me know your thoughts as well. I'm streaming on Twitch, so please consider following me there at twitch.tv/JustAGamerInc, all together one word, or you can click the link below. And yeah, until next time, take care and have a good game.